Right, so
All right.
this is the guys from Disposable. Thanks very much for coming in, seeing us for a chat.
Okay.
We're just talking about the guys with a new member coming into the band, so how's it been?
It's been awesome.
Yeah.
It's been a massive change, but like a change in the right direction. Like everything was cool with Andy, and we were doing stuff, and there was a good creative chemistry. But it's almost like that kind of like tailed off for a bit, and he wasn't into it, and that's cool, and we're happy with that. He's much happier now. I'm happier that he's happier.
I love
now.
him a lot more now than I did before.
Yeah.
Okay, so the friendship has bloomed since you stepped away from like the kind of business
The
end of
friendship
the project.
before felt like it was me and him in the band as a threesome.
Yeah.
Whereas now that's the band's my thing, and it doesn't. It's not.
Yeah, because you guys have been together from like high school, like all the way through.
Totally,
sort of
yeah,
thing.
yeah.
So how long has it been now? Like years wise?
Well, yeah, a long time, man. Like we've been playing gigs since 2011.
Yeah.
So between 2011 and 2016, it was the same lineup for all those gigs.
But don't get me wrong, like the original vision can change and things like that. If people aren't happy, then they can go their own
I
way.
think
So.
possibly the problem was that the original vision wasn't changing.
Ah, okay.
And we were all very rooted in the ideas that we had. If ever we tried to do something different,
Yeah.
we were like, oh, well, that's not what we would usually do, so let's not do it.
Yeah.
To the point where every idea was nah.
I think as well we didn't share the same vision. Like Liam likes one thing, Billy likes something else, Andy likes something else, and then like what kind of was in the middle of all the things that we liked was quite narrow. With Oliver, it's almost like the things that he likes. There's a bit more of what Liam likes we can do now. There's a bit more of what I like, what Billy
Is there
likes.
lots of cross writing as well to folk do lyrics, or do you just like stick to your own sort of kind of instrument and go from there?
From the new lineup side of things, everyone's doing more.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a
It was
great
kind
start
of,
then.
It was kind of me and Andy writing for the most part. It was mainly me writing, with Andy helping, and then you helping under that, and then Liam helping under that.
With half-finished songs, and you know.
But now it's kind of, I mean, we've got this new song that's coming out pretty soon, and Oliver almost wrote the entire thing.
Okay.
So for us three, being the original members, it feels weird that we're now playing this song that Oliver, he just came out of nowhere and wrote it.
Yeah.
And we were like, man, that's the next single for
Well,
sure.
I think that should be good for yourself as well, having a collaborative aspect where everyone is as keen as you are to get the best thing possible out.
It's
man.
you kind of see what's like the evolution of it as well, because we had like the first song, Ravenous. Oliver, it's like if you asked Oliver to write a Disposable song. You've heard
Okay.
Disposable. How would you write that? And then he did that. And then we wrote another song, and it's a bit more like, right, it's like Oliver's sort of vibe with a little bit of an injection of what we would write.
Yeah.
And then like it's becoming more and more like a collective thing.
Yeah.
Like
I'm not gonna lie, but like from when I first saw you guys back in the Banshee days, when I first saw you, and now to hear like they're so solidified, you guys know each other a lot better. It feels like you've jammed it out. It's not like played to a clicker track sort of thing, you know. So
I think as well, we write stuff in a different way. Before it was all Guitar Pro.
Yeah.
And Andy and Billy would work on something, and I'd get sent a Guitar Pro that was pretty much done.
Okay.
And now we'll go and we'll have like just a riff, and we'll just jam about with it, and you know like demo it, and we don't. There's not as much sort of computerizing of stuff, like you know.
So
yeah, I mean,
are
you
you-
wouldn't believe how many songs I wrote without a guitar.
Oh, really?
Even in the fucking room. I would just be sitting on the computer programming it in, kind of going ding 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 ding,
Yeah.
and then programming drums to it, and the guitar's in the other room.
Jesus.
Like I wrote.
Are you guys getting a bit more together into a practice space, like a room where you guys can like chill out?
We
a bit
still
more?
try not to write in the practice room,
Okay.
because we don't have a practice space that we don't pay for.
Right.
So our time is limited. So
Yeah,
we kind of
yeah.
go into the practice room when
To
we.
refine things.
Yeah, so it'll get written. Me and Jack will hang out and write a song, or me and Oliver, or Oliver and Jack, or all four of us, all three of us, me and Liam, whatever. And then we kind of teach it to each other outside the practice room, so that to the point where we all know it.
Yeah.
And then we'll go to the practice room to play it.
Yeah.
Realise we don't actually know it, but then we know it enough so that we can still kind of just. It doesn't take long.
Okay.
We try
So,
not to write in the practice room.
so through playing with these bigger bands, I saw you played with like Iron Reagan, Municipal Waste.
Yeah.
You played with some absolute killer lineups. So have they influenced like the way how you're starting to look at things now, the way how they play, even like stage shows, what you play through, things like that?
Definitely, playing with like Iron Maiden and like Municipal and stuff. I think we've kind of stuck like there's that kind of punkier sort of vibe that we're now more open to.
Yeah.
I think again maybe it wasn't so much the Andy's thing that wouldn't cross into like what we'd all be on board for.
Yeah.
But with Oliver, there's a lot more of that punky sort of vibe, and then we hear like that sort of stuff, and like what you're writing has become a lot more punky.
Yeah.
But it's almost like like Liam's not like mad into like his old school metal and stuff. You might send him like a really like evil, thrashy, like sweet picky riff, and he'll be like, oh, that's too much double bass and blastiness, and but you send him something like punky, so like more catchiness. It's still really heavy, and then he's like, yes.
Yeah, man. I totally agree.
I'd say playing with bands that you admire.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, we might admire a lot of bands that are just local bands as well, but there is something different if you feel like you're supporting a touring band.
Yeah, gracing the same stage as
Yeah,
they
yeah.
are.
And it kind of makes you up your game a little bit.
Definitely.
So like, it's those kind of gigs, that and the sort of the heavy Scotland thing. Loads of my favourite bands were on that bill. Like loads of my all-time favourite bands were on that bill. And it makes you go, well, it better not be shit. Like you really need to up your game. So like,
well, I was just going to bring that on next. That's led in perfectly with the kind of signing up with Caitlin as manager and things like that. How's that been? How's it going? Like,
it's not going anymore.
oh, is it not? Okay.
It was just a mutual little thing.
That's fair dues. Are you
Ba-
still going to have the relationship with Heavy Scotland, or is it literally just like part
Yeah.
ways and things like that?
I mean, I wouldn't say it was part ways. It was mainly just, for us, a manager needs to dedicate a lot of time into just us.
Be another member.
And
of the
obviously
band.
she's spending a lot of time on the festival, and kind of we were going to sort of speak to her and say, maybe we should, not do this because it's going to be unsatisfactory for both, and you're going to waste time on us that we know you want to put into the festival.
Yeah.
We want you to put into the festival because the festival is one of the best things that happened in Edinburgh in years and years and years. And then she then came to us and more or less said the exact same thing. So like that's totally cool,
Like, I give her a lot of props. Like, I've not met her properly apart from like a handshake and a hello, and that's about it. But hats off to her to take on such an ambitious project, like straight off the cuff, and also execute it really well with a good set of bands too.
Yeah.
She's got a really good vision, and like I think as well, like she's like actually willing to like try and action that. Whereas a lot of people would have a good idea and then not know where to go with it. But she's got a really good no shit attitude.
Like, it was a really good gig.
It was. I mean, when we got that show, we were going, holy shit.
I think as well, we were excited about it, but like it's a weird one as well because putting it in the Corn Exchange is not something you're used to seeing, like a big loads of bands playing.
And people
like,
travelling to get here.
people came really far as well. But even like like rocking up on the Friday or on the Saturday, even not even 100% knowing what it was going to be like. You're kind of after all the kind of like the animosity surrounding it. You're kind of like, what's this going to be like? And then the moment you walk through the doors, you just see the organisation. Like, the fact that it was so slick. Everyone was like on board. The team that were like helping out with stuff, even just little things, were awesome.
I think the truth of the matter is that anything that big that kind of comes out of nowhere, which it kind of felt like it did a little bit, is going to get a little bit of backlash from people because, it's money.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's all about money. People who are paying 60, 70 quid, whatever it was for the ticket, are going, better be good. And if they're seeing the promotional campaign and thinking, oh, it doesn't look as good as I thought it was going to be, then that is, it's all just people's money is at risk the first time something happens. But I think all the people that were there will go to next year.
But don't get me wrong,
Almost every single
in my
one.
personal opinion, I think she did it right, go balls to the wall, all in, because there's no point in
There's no
dilly-dallying.
other option.
Yeah, like, if you're going to want to have that vision, you've got to do it to some decent scale, and there's no other way to do it apart from the way how she did it.
And a couple of years down the line, everyone will forget that there was a few rocky starts at the first festival. But as far as I'm concerned, the first year was great, complete success. It was one of our favourite gigs ever, probably the biggest gig
and
we
it
ever
seems
done.
like the pre-sales for the next
bands.
one has already gone out, so like
for the biggest bands we ever played with, on the biggest stage we ever played on, and for us it was Andy's last show for us, so it had that sort of weird sentimental kind of vibe going on anyway.
So it all got tied up nicely in the bun at the end then.
Yeah, so for us that was a big deal for loads of reasons, and like that's...
So,
Without her, that opportunity wasn't there.
so from the here and you parting ways with Caitlin, so what's the next step? New member of the band? I take it is just getting this new...
Well, it's like almost like a kind of transitional sort of period, and it's kind of weird because you feel like you're not doing much. But I mean, we've done a few gigs with Oliver, but we've not been doing a huge amount. But we've got a lot of stuff coming up. There's a lot of behind the scenes stuff. I guess it's just like we've been writing a lot. Compared to before, we'd find ourselves like we'd planned to release an album, and then, or like the first album, and we were already like, okay, well, we know we want this many songs, but we don't have them. But we're going into the studio at this point, so we'll have to write one.
Yeah.
Whereas now we've not kind of set like a deadline for that. I mean, when we first started with Oliver, it was like December last year, and even at the time, he was saying like, look, I've got other music projects. I maybe can give a few months to the disc, a year, and from there, it's just kind of gotten to the point where we're together so much, we're writing so much, we've got like twice as much material as we're used to ever being able to churn out in that amount of time.
Perfect.
And yes, I mean, I guess it's like we've been building stuff up, and now it's just kind of the plan is to start getting it out.
I think at the end of the day, 6 years we had Andy in the band is a long time.
Yeah.
And that was from when we were kids, like teenagers going into adulthood, and your life changes and you foresee your future in a different way or whatever. And it wasn't going to work.
Yeah.
And if we had kept that lineup, well, I say we had kept that lineup as if we had shunted him away. He left. We didn't, I don't think we would have asked him to leave. But he took it upon himself to do that, and in hindsight, it's like, thanks.
But I still think a fresh bit of blood into any band, I would say, if we still got a similar, I wouldn't say the same, a similar vision, then that would work out great. Because the thing is, you don't want carbon copies of yourself. You can already do that.
The way we were trying to look at it was we don't want to replace Andy with another Andy. We want like to reincarnate Disposable as like,
to be honest,
something
he's
slightly
irreplaceable. Like if we try to find someone like Andy anywhere on this planet, we'd live forever.
Big up to Oliver, because he's not just a metal musician, he's stunning on the guitar, and like, okay, so he's got a wonderful clean vocal, he's really good. I've heard him sing a lot of really nice stuff. We've done a little bit, we played about the clean vocals on the EP, and people really liked it. But between us, like, I mean, we could do it in the studio with take after take after take, but like live we try and do it, and it's like, whoa, this is really hard.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like we got around to like the new single, and Oliver's got this awesome clean voice, and before we would have been like, fuck clean singing, fuck that shit, that's not heavy.
Yeah.
And then you're like, well, you might as well utilise that. So you start writing stuff a bit differently. You start writing stuff to have like a melody to it. And then you realise that you should have done this all
Oliver's such a good musician that it would have almost been an insult to him as a musician to say, join the band, play some straight up thrash tunes with us. Like, he's got this
I know that you told us bits and bobs about his musical background, but can you elaborate a bit more of like what he was doing previously? Like, is it more academic music stuff?
He's done loads of stuff. I mean, he's got his degree, so he's instantly got more musical knowledge.
Yeah, he's big on the production side as well. Okay. Like, so he does that's made it so much easier for us as well, where we can think of a riff sitting in a room together, and then he's recorded it within 5 minutes, put a little drum track to it, so you can hear how it would actually be. Yeah. But he also,
so he's got that, and he likes doing that. Yeah. He's into that sort of stuff.
I think he's done a lot of cool other stuff. He's in a band called No Quarter that are fucking ripping. They're playing tonight. Stramash, yeah.
Good plug.
Someone's going to watch this 2
gonna
weeks
come
from now.
out.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, and he's done a lot of stuff. But
I mean, they're kind of bluesy rock sort of stuff where he's just the guitar player.
I think he's kind of wanted a band, like a metal band or something that he could have. So he's done a lot of kind of like metal-y sort of self-titled EPs where he'll program the drums, play everything, do all the vocals, but there's no real band to go with it. I think we needed a guitarist that wanted to put something into something, and he needed a band that were going to be playing gigs and actually doing something.
Yeah, man.
So it's kind of like,
it worked out nicely. I mean, when Andy left, we were like, right, let's sit down and say, who possibly could we get?
But it was different.
And Oliver was top of the list for like numerous reasons.
But it was different, like how we were doing it. Like you were easy, I was easy. Liam was basically like, it's Oliver or I'm walking too. And then we were kind of like, oh fuck. So then when we ended up speaking to Oliver, like you're kind of expecting like we're the band, we're interviewing you to be a member, so we're in control here. And he sat down and he was like, right, my first condition is that we are open to playing in drop tunes. And I don't know why, but I think me and you quite like the standard, the old school sort of vibe. So at first we were like, we're in control of this fucking interview.
Yeah.
But now we've written 2 songs in drop tunes, and there's like, it's interesting.
More than
Like,
that, 3, 4.
and then, you know, like, it's cool. I like the fact that when we sat down to talk to him, we were kind of shitting ourselves because we were like, if he doesn't say yes right here, this could be the end of this. But he came in and sat down and was like, I want to change this. I've got a vision for this. And that's, I think that's exactly what we wanted. We didn't want someone to come in and be like, what should I do? What do you want me to do? Like, we want someone to come and be like,
it's a good perspective because he was like, I'll only join if you do all this stuff differently. And I'm like,
but don't get me wrong. Like, I think internally, though, at the time, like, you're so proud. It's your baby. It's your band. You've been working so hard for it as well. But at the same time, you must have agreed to some degree, or else you'd have been like, nah. Like, you're worth it.
Absolutely.
To some degree, you know?
Yeah, 100%. Everything he said.
At some
took
point,
a minute
like,
to process.
yeah, exactly.
But then you go, in fact, you're so right.
Because we and you have talked about Cannibal Corpse hundreds of times, but this is the thing that, like, eras in bands are special to me. And the thing is that, like, you can tell how people work together, how dynamics change, how sounds change, and things like that. And I don't think it's a bad thing. People, well, bands that I've spoken to before get kind of shocked up, and I'm glad to hear that you guys are so energetic about this.
I think excited to do that.
it's like what we were saying, is like what I was saying earlier on about creative chemistry. It was good at a point,
Yeah.
and then now it just like something just feels like so much more right. I think we had this kind of like we were quite scared of doing things that were, you know, we used to really brand ourselves as a thrash band, and then we were scared of doing things that wouldn't be typically thrashy or whatever. But I feel like now with this kind of chemistry, with this kind of lineup, it's like, does it sound good? Yes. Okay, well then let's do it. Who cares if it's not what we normally do? And like, yeah.
I mean, I think a lot of the reasons Andy left was because it was narrow-minded like that. I mean, there was all sorts of other stuff as well. I think he just didn't.
There's
want
never
to,
one sole answer for anything.
he just didn't want to do the music thing anymore, which is fine. It works for everyone.
So, after now getting the new person in, what's happening with this new musical project then?
So
Have you got dates planned or anything like that, or are you just letting it happen organically?
well, we have a single recorded, which is called Ravenous, and that's the song that Oliver kind of wrote in the sort of first month of joining. I think he was kind of like, right, I better write something for the band. And we all really liked it, and we tweaked a few things, and then we recorded that. That's coming out, I think, in November 10th. I think it's going to come out.
Cool. I'll happily help promote that for you when it comes out.
Just a single on its own, and it's different, and it's weird, and I think a lot of people are going to go, oh.
Are you going to do like a video for it? Are you going to do
Done
like
a video for
you've already done
It's
a
been
video? Oh,
filmed,
nice.
It's done, we got that back, and then we're going on tour to promote it.
Okay.
So we're doing, what, 10 dates, a 10-date tour to promote that, which is all being announced soon. We've got all this stuff, we've been sitting on it for so long,
Nice.
and it's getting to the point where it's actually going to come out, because
Finally surface out and bloom.
I think a lot of people kind of thought, oh, they got this new guy and they've not really done much since. Like, we done a couple of gigs in Ireland, which was really cool, and then we done Wildfire Festival, and then we done the Studio 24 farewell show,
Yeah,
and then a
the
few other
farewell
ones
show,
dotted
yeah,
about here
yeah.
and there. And Heavy Scotland this year, obviously.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's been kind of lying low.
Because don't get me wrong, when you guys first came out, you were swinging for the fences. You
Yeah.
were everywhere. And then it just kind of, as you say, like it kind of trickled down. But as I say, I've been trying to keep on top of
We
you.
fully
to try and
intend
find
on
out.
being everywhere
Yeah.
for the rest of the year, as of about
Yeah,
1
man.
week's time from now, when
But
we can make
I don't
the-
think you've
the
lost that
announcement.
work ethic. Because as I say beforehand, you were always travelling, so I doubt very much you would just be like, nah, it's alright. Like,
No, I mean, we just had to take some time to actually organise it.
Yeah.
I mean, like, it's a DIY tour, it's not been booked by a third party or anything, it's just us that have been trying to find the shows, piecing it together, and
Also bands touring with you, or are you doing like local bands in each?
it's really like a patchwork of stuff that's joined together to make a tour, so it's going to be like a weekender for some bands, a full tour for us, one-off shows for other bands, just dotted about. So
Sounds good.
It's quite hard putting it together. I don't know, because you did it all. But
It was time consuming. I wouldn't call it hard.
I think as well, like, we originally were wanting to do, there's a band that we met when we played in Ireland called Scimitar, and they are absolute fucking fire. Like, you know the way you watch a band and you kind of like them, and you've never heard them before, oh yeah, that's pretty good, there's maybe things that you wouldn't like.
Yeah.
And then every so often you see a band and you're like, holy fuck, perfect, everything about you is perfect, and why are you not the biggest band in the world? Like, like Scimitar, Sodomized Cadaver, who we played with at Heavy Scotland as well. And originally we were going to try and do like a little bit of like Ireland with Scimitar, a little bit of Scotland, a little bit, you know. But just
Sodomized Cadaver's the Welsh band, isn't it?
Welsh,
yeah, totally.
So the original idea was that Scimitar being from Ireland, us being from Scotland, and Sodomized being from Wales, and then maybe getting an English band involved and doing a weekend here, here, and here, and then it would cover all four.
Yeah.
And for a while it was going really smoothly until it's kind of like, we can't do this date, but you two can still do that date.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you've got big crosses over all these dates.
Beautiful mind strings everywhere.
So Scimitar come to Scotland and Sodomizer come to Scotland, and we're doing Glasgow, Dundee and Edinburgh with all three of us.
Nice.
With a local band on each bill as well.
Cool.
And then we're doing up north, Aberdeen and Inverness, and that's kind of just us and other bands that are from there.
Yeah.
And then we're going to a one-off in Newcastle, which is just us, and so's a Jack Ketch. You know so's a Jack Ketch? They've been up here with Dog Tired a few times and stuff.
Okay.
But yeah, us and them in Newcastle, and then us and Sodomized Cadaver are doing down south, Cardiff, London, Manchester,
Nice.
with some other bands. So yeah, it's kind of Sodomized Cadaver here for a chunk, Scimitar here for a chunk.
You want us all to be
We're there for
there.
the whole.
But
At
also
some
you're
point.
bringing in friends from all over the UK now, getting that bond a lot tighter. They've got their project going on.
I think the original idea was that it'd be a lot easier to have 3 bands on board, because then there's someone in every area to try and help you organise it. But it just means that there's more people who need to have that time available.
And if you're waiting around to make sure everyone has the time available, it just never becomes a thing. You know, you can always like.
You know, I mean, it's hard enough for us 4 to get the time off work to go, let alone us, another
And
band that's
another
got
4
4 people
bands,
in it, another band that's got 4 people in it. Like it's a nice idea, and it's worked to an extent. I mean, Scimitar's still getting to come to Scotland, Sodomizer's still getting to come to Scotland.
Man,
We're still getting to
it was
go down
ambitious,
south.
but you managed to pull it off, so it's good.
And I mean, it's pieced together, but it looks great when you see the list. You know, like we look at it and go, shit, well, that's a proper tour that we've got.
Yeah.
And it kind of worked out in the sense that because it's not the same bands on every single date, we don't have to brand it as a tour with multiple bands. So we've very much branded it as our tour. So on the posters it'll be all about Ravenous, us, all the artwork and stuff like that, which is good. And then all like the individual posters have all the other bands and the Weekenders or whatever. So yeah, I mean that took a while behind the scenes. Writing and recording Ravenous took a while. Doing the music video took a while. Saving up the funds to do all this shit took a fucking while. So
Have the jobs as well, the big for all that shit.
yeah, I mean, working 40 hours a week this entire time. You know, like it's, so it does seem, and we're kind of aware that it seems like we've not been doing that much, but you know, as of about 1 week,
Make something.
1 week today, when our sort of PR properly starts, that's, you know, we intend to be pushing,
the shit
you
out.
know, annoying people for a long time until the end of the year.
Until the next one comes out, they can be annoying them again.
But then we've been writing all that time for the next album
Yeah,
as well. It's not like we just wrote Ravenous and that's it. I mean, we've written 10, 11, 12 songs.
I'm frothing at the mouth to hear it when it comes out, man. So like,
And like it's all cool, different sounding stuff. Like it's fresh sounding for us. So
I think like Ravenous for us as well was kind of like trying to figure out how quickly we could do something.
yeah.
But it's not as quick as you think that it's going to be. You know, you
Fucking
want
is.
to get a video and this and that, and it's. I think it was more like a bit of a tester to see how quick. Like we've been going into studios and recording everything, whereas now like Oliver's really good at recording stuff. So as long as we go and get the drums recorded in the studio, we can pretty much do everything else ourselves. So I think we're kind of wanting to aim for that with the album, but like realizing how long it's taken to do Ravenous, it's a bit of a learning curve.
the good thing about going into the studio to do it all is like we have a week, let's go. Whereas if it's like, well, we're just doing the guitars at Ollie's, we'll just do that after work someday, and then you pull out because you're doing something else, and it's just like it feels so casual that you realise it's taking you fucking ages to get something done. Whereas if you're in the studio, it's like someone turns an hourglass and the money's just falling through it. And you're like, let's go. So you do benefit from, you can tweak stuff along the way, you can take as much time as you want. But I mean, we're kind of chill fucking guys. Taking as much time as you want to us is like taking
a year for a
way
tune.
too fucking long to do something. So, you know,
I think next year, once we get kind of over this tour and stuff, we've got a gig with the RI planned in August. That's pretty sick.
That'd be sick.
Yeah.
Pretty happy about that. Almost to the point where I forgot that Billy said that he was going to apply for it, and he was like, "We're playing with DRI," and I was like, "DR who? Like what? Like the DRI?" Aye. Oh,
On it.
nice. Yeah. But I mean, aside from that, we've not really got much booked. I think it's just trying to crack on with another album and trying to get like a full big release that we can go and play a shit ton of
the
shows.
thing as well, for a long time we kind of hadn't supported many of these bigger bands or whatever, so we didn't really have the confidence to apply. It was kind of like, what, we're just going to get shot down and it's going to fucking slap your confidence and stuff. And then we got the Municipal Waste show, and then we got the Iron Reagan show on the back of that, and then we got the Heavy Scotland thing, and then we've supported a bunch of other cool bands. And now it's kind of just like, cool band, cool band.
Yeah, fuck yeah, man.